All right, welcome race fans to IWCR Truck Series tonight at Kentucky for 125 laps. Should be interesting. I've been watching these guys slipping and sliding out here. The first server the admins put up was the wrong server, so we had to wait a few extra minutes here to get into this one here. So we're here and ready to go. I've got a special guest in the server with me, last night's winner in the Gen 6 series, John Schweikert. Welcome, John.
Hey, thanks, Rudy. This is going to be a lot of fun to hang out with you tonight.
Well, what did you think of this this setup out here tonight, the trucks on Kentucky?
I threw in the Michigan set that I won with last week, and it wasn't too bad. Adjusted on a few and passed it out to a couple friends out there, and they look like they're running pretty good. Looks like it's going to be really slick tonight, especially off 2 and 4. Could be the weather, could be the track, but either way, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle it.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of tough, I think, man. Hopefully we don't see a lot of cautions, and hopefully the guys do take care of their equipment out there. No resets, so that's something to think about when you're out there. And if you get into that wall or get into somebody else, you get that damage. It's going to be really hard to recuperate from that.
Oh, for sure. You have to hit basically the perfect line. 1 and 2, you got to be right on that seam. 1 lane up, and then turn 3, you just really got to drive it in there, and hopefully your truck will float around that, that second lane and power off of it, and then come up off the hill. Rudy, I drove around this track in a real Nationwide car, and this thing is every bit of spot on, minus the actual physical bumps that you feel. It is spot on for the real thing.
That's pretty cool. I've been by the track, but you can see it from, gosh, I can't remember the Route 65, I think it is. You can see the track, and I remember going by there. Wasn't long after it was built, and I don't know if they were running a practice session or what, but you could actually hear the cars over the interstate going around the track, because it's really not that far. I mean, I don't really know how close it is, but it's been a long time since I've been by there, but it's really not that far away. You can actually see the track from the interstate, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't tell you, but my wife's uncle actually has a place right down there past there that's on a golf resort, so we go down there quite often and go past that track, and it's a really nice place, and it's fan friendly, so I love everything about the Kentucky track.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Dalton England has got the top spot there. Stephen Pearson coming in second, and this is, of course, only in practice. And they sometimes they do, and John, I know you do it, and I know a lot of racers that do, and you can't deny it. You don't go out there and practice and show everything. That's a racer in you. You don't want everybody to see what you've got, until qualifying comes out. So, and a lot of these guys, I think, just kind of holding it back right now. They're just going out and practicing and getting some lap times in, some seat time, and that's what does make a good time, And but we're let's see, we're about a little less than 10 minutes away from qualifying.
Well, Rudy, it's a mind game.
Exactly.
If you think that you have a really good race set, you might go in there, throw up a Q lap, and then hope that everybody's like, "Oh man, he's 2/10 faster," and then they start scrambling to get that hot lap down so they're close, and then you think that, okay, I've got the advantage, now I can start working on my runs. And then same thing, they might be like, okay, well, we know we can run that, let's just stay off of him,
right?
And so it's a mind game back and forth, even in practice.
Oh yeah, I know it. I know, John, you ain't telling me nothing.
It's funny, man. It is. I'm right there with everybody. I do it too.
Yep, I know you do. I see you out there each week. You turn let's just say you turn a 31-3 out here in practice, and then you go out there in qualifying, turn a 31-1. So you were just kind of like laying back a little bit in practice, not showing everything you got, because once qualifying starts, you can't work on your setup anymore. So You know,
Right, and you know what? Most of the time, and I will say, most of the time, in practice, late, because these servers, there is sometimes just a little bit difference between servers and how you practice and this and that. It's very fine, but sometimes it does happen. Most of the times, I'll be getting my race set adjusted for in race, and then toward the end of the practice, I'll throw in Q and run a few laps. But every once in a while, you're like, man, I'm feeling really confident. I'll throw that Q lap in the beginning and then go from there. So.
Well, good evening there, Anthony. We got one in chat already, chatting. So thanks for watching here on MaxSpeedTV. I'll throw up a little music here to keep our viewers entertained. I got some new music today, so I guess we can share some new music with everybody.
So we gonna be jamming then, Rudy?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be jamming. I just play it in the background. It's just nice light music and something to keep everybody entertained, keep them awake. Don't want them to fall asleep yet. The races hasn't even began yet, so or begun,
no doubt.
begun, however you want to say that. Yeah, I guess my other commentator wasn't going to show up, John, so you're it.
Yeah, sounds like he decided to race. He's probably got a decent piece on him. I know every week RPM is very fast, so
yeah.
You know what? Sometimes when you just have something that you really feel confident with, might as well go race it.
That's it. That's exactly right. Exalta. That's a new one. That must be some kind of a... Is that like something for Alzheimer's disease, maybe? Exalta?
That's
seen
on
that.
Jeff Gordon's car this year.
Yeah, I've seen that for some. It's for some sickness or illness or disease or something. I forget. Exalta. You know what it is? That's like, isn't that a breathing treatment or something? I think.
It might be something like that. I'm unfamiliar with it, but
yeah, it's like for somebody that has allergies or something like that. So. Hey, it's going good. It's going good. These guys talking to me in chat here, asking how it's going. I said it's going good. Yeah, I hope everybody has a happy Easter. I'll be in church tomorrow morning, spending my Easter Sunday morning. Got lots to pray for and lots to be thankful for. So.
You know what, Rudy? Why don't we say one thing we're thankful for while we're at it?
What's that?
I said, why don't we say something that we're very thankful for? Get it started off right.
Well, I'm thankful for what health I do have. What about you?
I think I'm most thankful for our troops.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have the greatest country in the world. We're able to do stuff like this. So, brave men and women of our country, this great nation.
Yeah, I've kind of dropped my Sunday races just so I can. First of all, Sunday mornings, so I can get back to going to church, and Sunday evenings, trying to spend some time with my wife. There's things going on with her health-wise that we need to keep an eye on, and we just got so much to think about here in the next few weeks. They're doing more testing and stuff like that, but.
Well, I will keep her in my prayers, Rudy.
Thank you. Yeah, they found she's having kidney failure, and that's not a good thing. She's down to 40% of her kidneys. I hear lots of stories of, I know Johnny Reed Foley, I was talking to him, he said his grandmother's had 12% of her kidneys for like 5 years now. So, you you can live without full kidneys, but the thing of it is I want to know what's causing this. What is it? You know, I mean, it's definitely degrading from the first time they tested for it than the last time. So, you know, is it going to continuously get worse? What's causing it? So.
Oh, for sure. You know, I mean, the human body is just amazing at the things it can do. But you're right. You definitely want to know what's going on. You know, and unfortunately, sometimes they just go, well, we don't know either. You know, but we know how to treat. You know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging.
Yeah.
This isn't a suspense movie. You know, this is somebody I love and care for. But well, I will definitely keep her in my prayers, man. And
thank you. Hopefully we're going to find out this week. They did an ultrasound Thursday. I had to take her down Thursday for an ultrasound, and the nurse said that the doctor would have the results the next day. Of course, that was Good Friday, but you know, which I'm sure the doctor probably did not work. So hopefully we'll find out something this week. Oh, good. Thankful for friends and family. All right. And having time to watch these broadcasts. All right. That's good. Also, the good Lord. Can't forget Him. Now, can we? Nope. No, sir, we cannot. And that's why I've got to get back to church and thank Him for what health I do have left. I mean, gosh, I'm 57 years old, not getting any younger. And, you know, here 6 years ago, I was paralyzed from the waist down for 5 days, totally paralyzed. Never experienced anything like that in my life. And had a ruptured disc in my back and compressed my spinal cord flat. And they had to operate, emergency operation. And thankfully, they got it away from there enough that it, you know, most of everything come back. But there's so much nerve damage in there, I'll just suffer with that for the rest of my life. So, but I'm thankful I can walk again.
man, that's touching, Rudy.
That is. I don't want anybody's pity.
No, that wasn't pity. That was touching. Every day, like I get off work, I go to the gym, and usually at least twice a week, I push myself, but I push myself for different reasons. Like I always try and stay healthy for my son and for my family for when I get older, but sometimes I go to the gym, beforehand, I will look up like different motivational stuff, like people who have come out of certain like incidences or accidents, or I'll look up soldiers who have like dismemberments that will push themselves and stay in shape. It's like, I'm healthy. Why can't I go to the gym and work out? And I use that stuff as motivation because there are people that don't have what I have that still do it. And it's like, that's just inspiration to me. It's just awesome.
Well, we're just coming down to 30 seconds till qualifying, and when we get ready here, we're going to step away and play our national anthem. Yeah, I read a lot of them stories too, and sometimes it kind of brings a tear to your eye. The people that just fight hard, not to give up into things like that.
Oh yeah, people that are told they can't walk again, and they can get up and walk, and they say, "You're not going to deny me, doctor." That's right. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah. I spent 4 months in a wheelchair, and I'm telling you what, I would not wish that on my worst enemy.
But it's awesome you can walk again.
Yep, a lot of hard work and a lot of hard praying. So, all right, well, we're going to step away, John. We'll be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, John, we're back. Qualifying time's coming in now. Mark Russell, no big surprise there, coming out on the top spot. Are you there, John? Well, he must have stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, sorry, Rudy. I
sorry.
stepped away to go get something to wet my lips a little bit, you know?
Oh, there you go. Well, yeah, I keep water right handy here all the time, because when you get to talking so much and everything, it's like your throat gets a little dry and you get scratchy and it's hard to understand sometimes.
Wow, these queue times are starting to come in really close.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad setups out there. Oh, look at Gonzalez beating out Mark Russell. Wow. Where did that lap come from? Man, he must have hit that line perfect. Tracks like this are very line sensitive. That's what a lot of people don't really realize. It's a slippery, greasy track, all concrete surface, and just very line sensitive.
Very, very, very bumpy.
Yeah, very bumpy on that low line, like you were talking earlier there, John. When you get right down on the low line in the turns, it's very rough down there.
You want to know something great, Rudy? When I went there and tested with the Nationwide for Rusty Walsh driving school, when I actually got out of the car, I had the belts really tight, but on my right side of my neck, I actually had a mark from where the belts were rubbing, as that's how bumpy this thing was around that track.
Jeez,
it was awesome,
man.
but
Wow,
it was absolutely awesome.
oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood turning in. Hey, Marty Sponsler in chat. Well, thank you there, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood. We appreciate the prayers. Thank you. And as she's been resting this weekend, hopefully everything is doing okay. Uh-oh, Ben Manning, he blew the motor during qualifying. Whoopsie. A little bit too much tape on that.
Is Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood ready to watch their son drive up to the front and maybe get a W tonight?
I think that's what they're hoping for. That would be, man, I'll tell you what, you can bet that YouTube chat would just light up solid if Daniel Smallwood would come into victory lane tonight. That would be just amazing.
Well, you know what? He's a name that I've been watching. I watched at the end of last season, and this season, he consistently moves his way up to the front every race.
Yep.
One way or another, he gets up to the front. It may not be the beginning, but sometime during the race, he starts making his way up there. Almost had a shot to win in California if he didn't get into trouble,
Oh, yeah, definitely, yep. And right now, he's only about 1.5 off of the pole, so that's really not much.
What's a tenth? A car length here?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, he's right there. And I know him and Gonzalez, I think they usually work on their setups together. Smallwood, them guys are always in there together. Thomas Keene.
Well, the RPM guys, and it's like everybody else, because the RPM guys are usually pass. So.
Yeah. Look at Christopher Perryman duplicating Gonzalez's lap. Man, right there, 31.308. Awesome.
That's a tight field.
It sure
That's
is.
almost like a Talladega or Daytona field. Everybody within a few tenths of each other.
Well, it just shows you that the quality of the drivers that are out here, that they're all running just about the same. Everybody's pushing that limit right to the extreme. We talk about that all the time, John. Just like last night in that race, the Gen 6 race, how on the edge you guys ran the whole race, and I don't know how you do it for 125 laps to be right there on the edge the whole time. Fighting that wheel and constantly steering to the right, coming out of the turns. I just don't know how you guys do it, man. I'd probably race about half of it and then just pull over and park because I'd be exhausted.
Sometimes it's a lot of fun, and sometimes it's just the competition. And sometimes it just goes by so quick you don't even realize it. When you have somebody like Travis Townsend right there, or Galen Gibbon right there on your rear, you don't even realize how fast you click off laps at 30-some seconds a lap. Bang, 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 bang. 10 minutes is no big deal. You already clicked off 20 laps, and I mean it goes by quick sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like it for the drivers. I'm sitting here watching. Sometimes it gets like, whew, man, and then the next thing you know, it's 20 to go, and it's like, wow, it seems like it went faster than it actually did. And the Gen 6 at Texas last night, that race really went quick.
Yeah, I think your broadcast was an hour and 55 minutes from the start of whenever your practice was to the end. That's fast.
Yeah, that's moving for 125 laps.
Rudy, I don't know if you're a basketball fan, but there could potentially be an upset with Wisconsin beating Kentucky.
That's what I'm hearing. I heard some upsets, a lot of upsets today. So.
Well, there's 16 seconds left. I'll let you know here in a minute.
Well, I know they do have a 10-minute session here. We've got about a minute and 45 seconds to go, folks, in qualifying, and then we'll be ready to take the grid.
It looks like Gonzalez is going to get the pole.
Yes, sir. I don't think anybody's going to beat that. Man, that's pretty
by
amazing.
1,000th.
Man. Yeah, this mine doesn't go that far. It only goes 3 digits. It don't go down into the deep digits, the tens of thousands. So it just shows that as they were tied, him and Perryman. But Gonzalez beating him for the pole, so.
Gonzalez a 31.307, Perryman a 31.308. So I mean, just 1,000th apart.
Yep. Yeah, this thing it rounds it up.
Yeah, that's a bumper. I mean, that legitimately is a bumper in these trucks.
Yep. Well, what do you think of the new trucks, John? Let me get your opinion on them.
They're different. I mean, you can't say they're bad because you haven't had enough time to practice with them, but they're smoother on entry. They feel a little tight on entry, but they're just, it's a smoother feeling, smooth through the center, and then on exit you are free. And it does have to do with the setup, but you're just free. It's like a natural free feeling where it doesn't feel like the truck is planted. It feels like it's up on top of the track in the rear and it just wants to slide. So, but they're a lot of fun. I just wish they were a little bit closer together like the old trucks, but I mean, it's fun.
Well, Foley in there tonight. Wow. All right, we're going to get down here on the grid and get ready to, let's see, we'll run down through the field here real quick. I got to get some volume turned up on this. Everybody will think there's no volume on these trucks. All right, let's see where we're at. Michael Gonzalez with a 31.307 taking the pole here tonight. Congratulations to him. Christopher Perryman starting second. Mark Russell in third place. Thomas Keene fourth. Charles Grant in fifth. Galen Gidman in sixth place. Nathan Sedlick seventh. James Lehman in eighth. Roger Wagner ninth. Stephen Pearson not on the grid yet, but starting 10th. There he is. Randall Drake in 11th. Scott Russell in 12th. Daniel Smallwood 13th. John Burgos 14th. Eric Lambert 15th. Mike Vining starting 16th. Ben Manning in 17th. Johnny Reed Foley, good to see Johnny out there. Going to be starting 18th with no paint scheme on that truck. We're going to have a chat with that boy after the race. Craig Hawkins in 19th, excuse me. He'll be starting 19th. And Dalton England, last one to qualify, be starting 20th. Of course, John's not in there. Kevin Spalding, first one to not qualify, will be starting 22nd. Tony DeGennaro 24th, and Matthew Breckel riding shotgun on the field here tonight in the 25th position. So not a huge field here, John, but nevertheless, it should be a decent race for the guys.
Yeah, and as loose as some of these guys were, maybe not having that 40-car field is probably a bonus.
Definitely.
But they're still going to put on a heck of a show. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, this will be wild. Trying to get everything set up here, so if I'm a little quiet, I'm finishing up my stuff here. A lot of stuff you have to do behind the scenes. People don't realize getting everything set up. So, okay, rolling off the grid now.
Yeah, usually I'm just the monkey down there holding the wheel, so it's kind of a different pace to see this from your point of view.
Yeah, I enjoy this. Not that I don't enjoy racing. I guess I'm nowhere near as competitive as you guys are, but I think my competitive level's down about 3 notches lower than you guys, because I don't take it as serious as you guys. I go out to have fun, not go out and try to wreck somebody or beat the doors off of somebody for a win, or I go out and I have fun, and whether I finish first or 20th, it doesn't matter to me. I go out for the camaraderie and having fun with my friends. So my competitive level's way down there. Okay, we're ready to go green here. Everybody tightening up the field now. Be coming out of turn 4. Pace car is about to duck onto pit road, and we're ready to light these guys up and get them going here with a green flag. Michael Gonzalez going to lead them. Pace car's in, and green is in the air, folks, and we're off and going here. All right, field gets spread out a little bit. Mark Russell will... where the heck? Uh-oh, messed up my counter here. Mark Russell in second. Got Christopher Perryman right there on his outside. And another side-by-side battle back here. Thomas Keene on the inside of Galen Gidman. And now on the inside of Christopher Perryman. So Christopher Perryman losing a couple of positions right off the get-go. But Michael Gonzalez does lead the very first lap of the race.
And he's not playing around. He jumped out there a few tenths over everybody.
Absolutely, half a second already. Boy,
these restarts are some of the most treacherous. You got to get through the bumps. You got to dodge other cars, and some guys slipping back. Christopher Perryman's dropped back to the field a little bit, probably just easing down off some of this racing.
Well, I know Christopher Perryman, he doesn't like to get up there and mix it up right away. He's kind of the type of guy that likes to be there at the end, and if you get up there and start mixing it up early. Ooh, Galen almost gets into James Lehman. I think they did touch. Gidman really backs it down, and he's going to lose a lot of positions right there.
He's about 4th or 5th, and he'll wind up about almost 11th by the time they come back.
I don't know if that was just a miscommunication on his part or both their parts or what, but it looked like Lehman kind of cut the nose of him off just a little bit. Lehman in 4th, Roger Wagner 5th, and Nathan Sedlick moving into 6th.
We all know that Galen, being with the RPM group, he's got a pretty good set, and he's a really good driver, and he'll be able to, if he keeps his emotions under check, he'll be driving back up to the field, and won't be back long. We'll be talking about him in 3rd, 2nd, possibly 1st.
Absolutely. back through the field here. Stephen Pearson, Mr. Be there at the end. We'll watch for him to be there at the end. Hopefully, last night he had trouble in the Gen 6 car. Hit the inside wall, and I guess he blew the motor in it, so he wasn't able to completely finish the race last night. Kind of disheartening for him. I'm thinking Johnny Reed Foley, and I don't know what happened to him. Okay, he's back in last place. Next to last. He's just going by Matthew Breckel right now, and that puts him into 22nd. So I don't know if he had a little loose condition there he's trying to deal with or what, but Eric Lambert in 21st. And he's on the tail of Tony DeGennaro.
I think Foley is just hoping for a caution to make adjustments because his truck already does not look happy. It's a little tight on entry, and then it is just so loose on exit. He's just hanging on for dear life.
Well, he probably didn't take time maybe to make a setup or whatever. I'm not sure what the case may be, but well, I'm not going to count him out just yet. Daniel Smallwood in 8th.
Not in this league, Rudy.
Nope.
Not in this league.
Galen Gidman working over the back bumper there of Smallwood. Kind of loses it just a little bit. Dalton England now closing up on Galen Gidman. So Dalton England trying to get up there. It started 20th today and is into 10th, so he's moving forward quite rapidly here. Well, Galen's really loose on exit. Man, is he loose on exit. He has to chase that thing up the hill just to keep it under him. So I don't know what. Maybe he made a wrong adjustment. Maybe he forgot to put the race setup in. No, they won't let you do that, will they?
That I'm not sure about.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think it automatically switches to your race setup, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, he's going to go backwards. Him and Dalton England side by side.
And I've watched Dalton. He's made a few passes on the outside already, so he must have a pretty good piece underneath him.
Yep. Brand new leader up front. Thomas Keene, Mark Russell in second. Both of them getting by Michael Gonzalez. So Gonzalez was out there for about 6 laps, and now he's starting to fade a little bit. Maybe he just really used up them front tires on that first six lap sprint. So our pole sitter in 3rd place, Thomas Keene up front. These guys putting quite a bit of distance on 4th place, Roger Wagner. Back about 1.9 seconds behind him right now. Nathan Sedlick in 5th, James Lehman 6th, Scott Russell 7th, and Daniel Smallwood 8th. Go back in the field here a little ways. Mike Vining now trying to chase down Christopher Perryman back here in 17th and 18th position, those two. Pacing themselves kind of easily now. And Foley has moved into the 21st position as he not only got by Matthew Breckel, but Craig Hawkins as well. Hawkins back in last place in 23rd position. But a good tough battle going on up in the front. I would venture to say Mark Russell probably getting ready here to set up Thomas Keene. I don't know. I know Mark Russell's a type of guy, he likes to build his setups for the long run. And he's probably just kind of riding in second right now, waiting, and let these young guns out here just burn up their tires, and then he'll just drive by and wave.
Maybe you can clarify it, but if the Russells are with, oh man, help me out here, Kenner and Jason K. Miller, he'll definitely have something for the long run.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. I don't know. I know Kenner said that him and Jason Miller raced together, but I know he did say something about that. Yeah, you know, you're right. He did say something about that. But I don't see Jason Miller out there tonight.
Because Jason Miller is an absolute phenom. Oh my Lord, we have a wreck.
Really? Galen Gidman into the wall, and that collects Stephen Pearson. Ouch. So,
Sorry, Rudy. I just happened to be
No,
on
you're all right.
when that happened.
Yep.
That was a hard hit.
Yeah, it was. No, that's fine. Yell it out, man. That's what I want. I want to hear, because sometimes it doesn't show up right away. But Galen just chasing that thing. Looks like he got into the outside wall. 42 just happened to slip by, but Stephen Pearson did not. And it looks like he caught James Lehman in the process. And oh man, it's on from there. More guys getting collected into it. Just hard to get them brakes locked down. Okay, so Thomas Keene, let's see if he does bring them down pit road. I think they probably will. 15 laps on these tires. I think they're probably looking at coming down pit road. Well, I'm getting word here, Wisconsin beat Kentucky.
Yes, they did.
Wow. That's wild.
Yes, they did.
All right, Keene bringing everybody down pit road. And it looks like everybody's coming down pit road. Everybody wants to probably do a 4-tire change and check on their setup. Maybe make some tweaks or something on it. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if you remember last night, me and Travis, we pulled out to like a 5.5-second lead, and then all of a sudden, everybody was on top of each other. You don't really know until the race starts, and then you make adjustments, and then they all come alive, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's unfortunate for Galen and Steven and James Lehman. I mean, you work on your set all week and then come to that. But Galen was just fighting it for 14 laps. I mean,
yeah. Well, Keene comes off pit road first, and it looks like Mark Russell second, Michael Gonzalez third. So they pretty much come out the way they went in. The big gainer in that was Dalton England. Dalton England with a, and he actually had a slow pit time, but he comes out of there 6th. I think he went in like 10th, and he come out 6th.
that's good for him, for sure.
Yeah. And he actually, like I said, had a slow pit time, 15.1 seconds. Scott Russell 7th, Daniel Smallwood 8th, Kevin Spalding 9th, and Mike Vining, that would be the top 10. Well, I don't usually like to talk to the drivers this early in the game, John, because it's kind of hard to tell after 15 laps really what your truck's feeling. We'll maybe wait till the next caution or something, get down there trackside and try to talk to one of the drivers and see how they're doing.
Sounds good to me. I'm just along for the ride tonight.
Well, Mike, we don't want you to get busted by your wife. Yeah, you go spend some time with her. You do the movie thing. He said he'd check back in a bit. He said, going to get busted by the wife.
That's funny.
He's got a big thing coming up here we'll be doing on the 25th for autism. And we do broadcast stuff like that, try to make it an account to broadcast anything that's, what do I want to say? Yeah. What am I thinking of?
Special needs?
Yeah, anything. Anything.
Yeah, that's not kind of like, that's not along the lines you're thinking of, but
Yeah, you know what I mean. But we try to broadcast stuff like that, and people really do like that, and I enjoy it too, and it's all for a good cause. So, all right, so Thomas Keene still out in the lead, been out there for 10 laps now, make that 11, and the lights are off on the pace car. We're ready to go back to green flag racing.
I didn't see, but did Charles Grant, do you remember, did he get caught up in that? Because he's got a lot of front end damage. Oh boy.
Eric
I can't-
Lambert. Did I have my mic muted?
Well, it wasn't coming through.
I must have. Okay, well, let's go back and look at it here. Eric, I'm sorry. Eric Lambert. Not really too sure if that was a self-spin or... Yes, it was. It looks like an arrow loose right there, and then, of course, James Lehman comes up and helps him out a little bit more, spins him on around the rest of the way. Looks like he's going down to mow the infield grass. Okay, so, boy, race of attrition out here tonight for sure, John.
There is, and there is a storm of brewing out here on Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That don't sound good.
The 41 and the 31 are not seeing eye to eye, and apparently they have been seeing eye to eye for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
They did a little rubbing, and then there was a little bit more rubbing, and then under the caution there was a little bit more rubbing, so we might have to pay attention to that.
Like they're not even near each other.
They were. That's all I gotta say. That was interesting.
Okay.
You get all the fun up here, Rudy. I ought to do this more often.
Yeah, but I missed that totally. Blatantly missed that. I didn't see anything because they're like totally. Heck, they're like 5 positions apart. I don't know how the heck they would be rubbing on each other, but
I think Perryman pitted, but maybe I have to go back and look at the replay. But I did see. I happened to be on somebody during that right when it started, and I saw that Perryman kind of slid into Roger, and Roger was right there, and then they continued to rub a little bit. So I guess just continuing on from previous weeks.
All right, the Bass Pro Shop truck in the lead. And been out there for, let's see, crossing the line, it'll make 15 laps. Well, it wouldn't be a good race without the drama, I guess. There's always got to be drama somewhere.
There always has to be drama, right?
Yeah. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
You know what? That's kind of what makes racing. You know, it's the excitement level. We're all racers, and it just not just the drama, but it's the excitement and everything. It just keeps you coming for more. The adrenaline flow, the chance to win, and the close racing and stuff like that. I mean, it's good times.
Yeah.
And friendships, right?
Oh yeah, you don't want to forget that. All right, so it looks like starting Thomas Keene, Michael Gonzalez second, Mark Russell third, Nathan Sedlick fourth, Daniel Smallwood fifth, Dalton England sixth, Roger Wagner seventh, Scott Russell eighth, Tony DeGennaro ninth, and Johnny Reed Foley into the top 10. We've got Randall Drake and Ben Manning still on pit road. A couple of drivers that, let's see, Galen Gidman does get the wave by. Charles Grant is the only one that is a lap down, and he's back in 18th position right now. So everybody else still on the lead lap. Doubling up, ready to go green again.
See if Thomas can get a good restart like he had last time and clear his teammate there and pull away a little bit.
Well, I'm sure those two are in TeamSpeak together, probably communicating, when they're going to go. But pace car's in. Keen in control of the restart. Hits the throttle. Gonzalez hits it too. Both of them trying to get a head start on Mark Russell there in third, and it looks like it's going to fall into play. Dalton England with a great start goes into fourth. Nathan Sedlick fighting back on the outside. Daniel Smallwood trying to slip it up the middle. Wow, almost went 3 wide right there. Dalton England seen what was going to happen there and said, "Nuh-uh, I don't want no part of that." 3 wide, this is not a good track for 3 wide. As wide as it is, and I'm not saying it's not capable of it, but just right then, I just don't think it was a good time. No heat in the tires, less grip and everything. Roger Wagner fighting back on the outside, now goes into the 6th place as he gets by Dalton England. Johnny Reed Foley up to 8th, Christopher Perryman 9th as he gets by Tony DeGennaro. And boy, we've got a side-by-side battle up here in the front. And Michael Gonzalez, no, he did not lead that lap, but he does take over the lead. Now Mark Russell on the inside of Thomas Keene for second.
Thomas is trying to fight back hard, but
yeah,
it just doesn't look like he's going to prevail.
Well, he's not in the preferred line right now, and that really does make a big difference. He comes right up and probably gives Mark a little tap there in the back, saying he just really didn't appreciate that pass. And Mark into the wall. Oh, look at them all go by him now. Mark just drove it into 2 just a little too hard right there. I don't really think he got any damage off that. It was just a brush, but still. Oh, we got another caution. Oh, back here, Eric Lambert again. So let's go see what happened. Get down here with a little closer view. And he gets into the wall, and it looks like when he tries to pull it off of the wall, the 72 there, Mike Vining, looks like he just kind of drove it into the turn a little bit too hard and got into the side of Eric Lambert. So both of them getting a little damage on that, but it looks like they're going to both be okay. Just more or less a little bit of a rubbing going on there than a really hard lick. So okay, everybody back underway, and Gonzalez is now scored as our new leader. Will he bring them down pit road? And it looks like it's a yes.
That could have been worse, that's for sure.
Yes, it could have. And John, I don't try to, pick on people or anything. I just point out what I see, and I may be wrong. Maybe Eric Lambert come down into him. I don't know, but it just looked to me like maybe Mike might have drove it in there just a little bit hard after Eric hit the wall and got up into him. So it's just what I see. I don't.
You know what? It's good information for your viewers, though. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe somebody else might see it differently, I don't know. Oh, man. Christopher Perryman getting out, and that was a 2-tire change for Christopher Perryman. And he will take the lead, man.
They only ran a couple laps. You still got, several to go. You might as well give it a shot.
There you go. It never hurts to try little tricks like that. And, I don't know about the new trucks. I don't know of anybody that, I haven't talked to anybody that's tried it, but the older trucks, sometimes taking 2 tires really was a good match. After you got a little bit of heat build up in that, it was just like having a whole brand new set under the truck.
Yes, if you in the old trucks, if you ran anywhere between 8 and 12 laps, and you came in and pit and took rights only, you were actually at more of an advantage than somebody that took 2 or took 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was that fine line.
Yep.
Seems like everything in iRacing is a fine line anymore.
I agree. Well, Randall Drake back out. He's right ahead of Christopher Perryman and going to try to get one of his laps back. He's showing 10 laps down right now as he's back out on the track. Ben Manning's still not back out, so we're 19 cars on the lead lap. Galen Gidman actually the last one on the lead lap. As he comes around, tries to get caught up to the rear of the field. Charles Grant on pit road. So Perryman going to bring him to the line this time.
Well, we have a couple laps under pace. Do you want to ask somebody how they're feeling?
Well, I could. I don't want to give away somebody's secret. So how about if we go down there and talk to... I'm trying to think here. How about Eric Lambert? Well, no, I just talked to him. How about Kevin Spaulding? I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Let's see if I can get down here and talk to him. Kevin Spaulding, you got a copy?
Yeah, sure do, Rudy.
Well, Kevin, how's your truck running for you tonight?
I'm a bit slow. I didn't get to put the time I would like into it, but I'm just riding right now, making adjustments.
Well, you're going to be restarting 11th. You've come from back in the field a little ways, so, you know, these guys are pretty tough up in the front that you're racing against, so, but we're going to wish you good luck here because you're about to go back green here in just a second, and hopefully we can talk to you in victory lane here later on, Kevin.
Would be nice. Thank you, Rudy.
All right, not real. I don't think you don't sound like he was too happy with his setup, John. But I guess we'll have to wait and see, huh?
Yeah, but you know what? He might hit on something while he's making all these adjustments on pit road, and then next thing you know, we'll be talking to him at the end. I mean, he's a really good guy. I like racing against Kevin a lot.
Yep. Yeah, he is a good guy. Them are the kind of guys I like to race around. The guys that, they finish where they finish. They're not just kind of laid back. They're out there running to the best of their ability, but, maybe they're not a top runner, but they may be there at the end. You never know. All right, ready to go green here. Pace car's in, and Christopher Perryman is going to bring him to the line, and green, green, green. Wow, good start by these guys up front. Let's see how that two tires going to work out for Christopher Perryman. They go into turn one, and Keene right on his tail. Gonzalez on the outside. Boy, he gets a great run on that outside. Look at that. And they're 3 wide down the backstretch. Johnny Reed Foley taking it 3 wide on the inside. Man, that was wild. Daniel Smallwood right into the mix of things, side by side with Foley. Foley, look at this, slipping into the third place, and side by side up front is Thomas Keene and Christopher Perryman, and Foley way down to the inside, and he's going to lose a ton of positions on that. Smallwood gets by. Yes, he did. Nathan Sedlick, now they're starting to fall into single file here a little bit. Gonzalez and looks like Keene still side by side. Perryman still up in the front. Wow, that was some wild racing right there.
These boys don't know they got 90 some laps to go.
Well, I'd say that each and every race. All of you guys get out there and you start racing on lap 10 like it's the last lap of the race. That's not the lap you got to worry about getting the checkered flag on. It's the last one.
It's so funny to hear you guys say that, and then actually be up here, see it for myself. It's just funny.
And here we go, 3 wide again, and Perryman way up on the high side, Gonzalez up through the middle, and Nathan Sedlick on the low line. Man, I'm telling you, these guys are really getting brave on this slick track. Them new tires, boy, it just kicks the bravery level right up, don't it?
It sure does. Oh, Gonzalez is loose.
Oh, right in front of Roger Wagner. Roger has to check up, and that wads the field up behind him. Him and Perryman getting awful close to one another, and caution is out. Uh-oh. It took me two... Uh-oh, what happened? What happened? Somebody was on pit road. It looks like Galen Gidman. Galen Gidman, for I'm not sure why. It took me to him, and he was on pit road. I don't know. That was kind of weird.
James Lehman is sideways.
Let's see if we can go back and find what happened here to him.
Looks like James Lehman is on the inside, hits the apron, gets loose, really sideways. Maybe that's the caution?
I don't know what happened there. This thing's kind of wigging out on me a little bit.
I'm not seeing anything else other than that. It'd be Lehman.
Maybe that was it then. Well, looks like leader bringing everybody down pit road again. Looks like almost everybody coming down pit road. Somebody staying out. Looks like Johnny Reed Foley may have stayed out just to lead a lap. Well, I'm sure Perryman's probably going to want to do a 4-tire change now after doing a 2-tire last time. Yes. It looks like Thomas Keene did a 4-tire change. Wow, that was a smoking fast pit stop too. 13.8 seconds on pit road. Wow. That's pretty wild. He comes out first. Nathan Sedlick second. Daniel Smallwood. Johnny Reed Foley's staying out. Thomas Keene second. Nathan Sedlick in third. Daniel Smallwood fourth. Michael Gonzalez fifth. Roger Wagner sixth. Dalton England seventh. Christopher Perryman back in eighth with a lengthy pit stop. 15.4 seconds. That was pretty slow. Mark Russell back up to ninth now, so good stop for him. And Tony DeGennaro running out the top 10.
You know, Tony DeGennaro, I like watching him race. He's a really good dude. But if I had to pick on a short run, I think I'd go with Thomas Keene or Daniel Smallwood. On a long run, I'm going to have to go with Sedlick or Wagner. I mean, those guys are just fast on a long run and consistent. So, I don't know, man. We got a lot of racing left.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Take a look real quick here at the race analysis. We've had 4 cautions already. Wow. And 5 lead changes.
You know, another newcomer to this league that we ought to pay attention to is Dalton England. I mean, he started way back there too, like 20th, didn't he? He's up there.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually started 20th, and he's running in 7th right now.
You know what? This league, it just doesn't really matter who they bring in or where they start. It's just a lot of close competition.
For sure. Well, Foley wanting to stay out and lead a lap. He's done it. Now let's see what he's got for these guys, because now he did seem to work his way up through there, but when we seen him get loose, boy, I don't know, he had to have really heated those tires up, trying to keep up with them young guys up in the front.
Yeah, I don't know how hot he got that right rear when he smoked it off too, so this is going to be interesting to see if he can hang on here and stay up toward the front. I mean, if he can stay up and we get into a run and he stays, you know, maybe he doesn't fall farther than 5th, and yeah, it was a great gamble, but if he drops like a rock, you know, obviously that was a bad call, but time will tell.
That's right. Well, he'll be in command of the restart here. Keene really good on restarts. Nathan Sedlick and Daniel Smallwood, them guys all are really good. And Michael Gonzalez, really good on these restarts.
I would love to see Daniel Smallwood get top 3. I really would.
Oh, yeah. I know it. He deserves one. You know, he's such a good racer. And I talk about him a lot, and not just because his mom and dad are watching in chat, but I talk about him a lot. He's just a really good racer. He doesn't go out there and cause any problems, or, you know, if he's not having a good night, he gets it off the track. But that's rare. He's always in the hunt somewhere in the race.
Yeah, he's definitely an exception. I mean, I race around him every week, and I really enjoy racing around him. He is level-headed, calm, and really, really talented. I really enjoy racing around him.
Yeah, he's gonna take your place someday, John.
Yes, he is.
All right, ready to go back green here, waiting on the pace car, and it dives on pit road. Foley hits the throttle right away, and we are under green conditions here at Kentucky. Thomas Keene falling into second, Nathan Sedlick third, and Daniel Smallwood fourth. And back behind him, we got Michael Gonzalez and Roger Wagner going door to door, and Gonzalez comes out of that on top. Thomas Keene now taking a peek on the inside of Foley. Makes Foley go up to the high side and have to really get out of that throttle, and it looks like he's being up there just, I don't know, no tires, didn't work out too good for him. Like you said, it might not have been a good call.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you don't know until you try it.
That's right. Coach said like all over Keene here. Really putting the pressure to Keene. Keene seems like he can handle it pretty good, though. Back in behind him is Johnny Reed Foley in third, Daniel Smallwood fourth, and Gonzalez in fifth. Foley seems to be hanging with them pretty good now if he can get into that line. And when he got forced up the hill there by Keene, he couldn't hold that line up there. That does mean a lot. This track is so line sensitive, it's just unbelievable. You see them guys staying up off that bottom a little bit there. That's where it's really rough down in them turns. Smallwood in fourth. Coming up on Foley. Takes a peek. Can't quite do it this time. Foley seemed to be really strong coming off of turn 4 that time. But driving it hard into one, staying on the bumper. Foley now, Daniel Smallwood looking for that break. Foley a little bit loose. That could have been the break that Smallwood needed to get underneath him. And it looks like he's going to make that pass work. Yes, and that opened the door for Roger Wagner to slip in there too.
Foley's hanging tough, but this just allowing them leaders to get away.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the more these guys battle, the better them guys up there are liking it.
This is the battle, though. I mean, Nathan Sedlick is all over Thomas, but
Whoa.
This is the battle.
And boys, Daniel Smallwood and Foley were both loose that time, but Smallwood stayed right in it. And he does take over that position from Foley. Foley goes back to 5th right now. In 6th, make that as Gonzalez drives on by him. Wow, turning into a good race here with these guys. Whew. Looking ahead from Foley here. Stays right on the bumper of Gonzalez now. Back in 6th place. Guys all get single file again. Smallwood 3rd, Roger Wagner 4th. Man, awesome racing right here, guys. Mark Russell working his way back up through. He's into 8th. Looks to the outside of Dalton England, but I don't think that's not the line he wants to make that pass. Christopher Perryman in 9th. Boy, Dalton England looked like he just a little tap into the wall right there coming out of the turn. Gonzalez on the outside of Foley, or Foley underneath Gonzalez, whichever. And Roger Wagner drives by Daniel Smallwood. RPM guys there, Roger Wagner coming back, and boy, he's doing a great job of it. 1.7 seconds behind the leader right now.
Oh,
he gets really loose.
Wow. What a save.
Oh my, and look at the positions he just fell.
You
Back
know
to
what?
ninth.
That's better than a wreck truck. That was a
Sure.
good job.
Yes, much better. Smallwood's back into third.
A few minutes ago, we were saying that Johnny Reed Foley made a bad idea staying out.
Yeah.
It's paying off. It is paying off. Right now he's fourth.
Oh yeah, he's doing a good job. He's staying right with Smallwood. Smallwood's got them new tires, so the older tires are definitely keeping up. All right, let's go back in the field here a little bit. Back in 11th is Mike Vining, not far off the bumper of Kevin Spaulding in 10th. And he's got company with Scott Russell in 12th. So there's another good battle mounting up right there. Scott really loose coming off of turn 4 that time. Tony DeGennaro back a couple of seconds from them, back in 13th. James Lehman even a couple more seconds back off of that in 14th. James caught up in a couple of wrecks there and has got himself back in position. Charles Grant in 15th. Galen Gidman was in 16th. He'll be looking to try to get his truck back up to the front as he keeps getting the damage fixed on that truck. I think he was caught up in one wreck there, wasn't he? He's been struggling all night long, I think, since the green flag flew.
Yeah, I think he's been in a few of them to self-spins.
Yeah, I'm going to look real quick here. Yeah, he's got quite a bit of damage on that right front corner. So, and that could be affecting his steering.
I think he was caught up in that wreck between Galen and Steven, and then it just not been right, since.
Yeah, and Eric Lambert just drives on by him coming out of turn 2. So Galen Gidman goes back to 16th. And now he tries to come back on the inside. Oh, Eric Lambert really loose going into 4. Wow, that was a good save. That was a good save by Eric Lambert right there. Well, we're coming up on the halfway mark here before too much longer. Matthew Breckel back in 17th. Good to see Matthew out there. He's another good racer, and he races in our league, John. And I'll tell you, he just is a no nonsense, no garbage ever comes out of him. He's just a good racer. Doesn't go out there. He's not overly aggressive or anything. He doesn't push his luck. He doesn't try to drive over his abilities. So my hat's off to him. Good racer.
Yeah, I watched him last week in Michigan as we were racing, and then I've been kind of keeping an eye on him here, and I like everything I see out of that guy. Very, very good racer.
Yep. That's what I kind of look at it. I look at it whether a guy's out there causing a lot of problems or I just like to see good racing. And he's out there. He's providing good racing. Now, last week, I think he worked his way up through the field. I forget where he finished, but it was, Sedlick into the inside wall. Oh, no. He come out of turn 2 and hit the inside wall really hard.
He was all over Thomas Keene, and he just got so loose out of 2 and couldn't help it. I'm
going to come back here and watch this one more time. Yeah, you can see he just got really loose, right to the inside wall. Man.
And he's not even playing around. He's just taking it right down to pit road.
That's a good, smart move. Get it looked at. It's early enough in the race he can come back from that. Now Keene out there by 2.6 seconds over Johnny Reed Foley. Holy smoke. Out there in that clean air, John, and you know what it's like out there in that clean air.
It's fun, I'll tell you that.
The only bad part of it is you got nobody to race with up there.
That's true.
It's kind of boring, but Foley, man.
I was talking with Nathan before the race, and I told him that I liked what he was doing. I was watching his practice times, and he said, "Don't pick me." Well, I picked him mentally, and I shouldn't have. He was doing so good. You jinxed him, John. I did. I feel bad. Oh, man. Gonzalez in third, Roger Wagner in fourth. Them two have been just back and forth since the drop of the green flag, the restart of this thing. Man, I'll tell you what. Them two are racing it up really hard. They're racing like, there's 10 to go. Yeah, well, Gonzalez was our pole setter, so, he obviously's got a good set. And I say that, but, when you think about it, he's got a good set when he's out there by himself. Now, you put that same vehicle in traffic,
and you can take a good set and make it into just a piece of junk, you know. So
well, Gonzalez is a young kid that has speed and he's got a good set. He's going to race for all it's worth. Roger is, you know, a little bit more seasoned and he probably knows what he has. So patience, you know, may, you know, prevail here, or the set may prevail. We'll see, right. But it'll be fun to watch.
Well, Mark Russell's got himself back up into 5th now, so he is moving forward after that little tap of the wall there and got that damage fixed up. He is back up to 5th place. Dalton England in 6th, Christopher Perryman 7th, and Daniel Smallwood back in 8th. And he's got Scott Russell all over his tail now. I'm sure Scott, I think that's a brother of Mike or Mark Russell. I'm sure he's probably running the same setup that Mark was running. I think them two are brothers. And Mike Vining right there into the top 10. So good to see Mike up there. Mike's another hard racer. I watch him each and every week, and sometimes he just really goes out there and gives it all, his all, and it just doesn't work out for him, or he gets caught up in somebody else's garbage or something. But he's another really good racer. Foley, man, I cannot believe Foley out here and chopping that time down. He is reeling in Thomas Keene.
Shows how much we were talking about, saying he was dead in the water.
Yeah.
P2, and he's coming after him.
Well, you know, and I know you can relate to this, John. Sometimes a guy can go out there and do on 2 tires with a loose condition. Some guys like to drive a truck or a car loose, you know, and it looks like he's doing really well with it right now because you know he's got to be a little loose with them old tires.
Well, and you know, it's totally different from us up here watching and compared to being behind that wheel. You know what you got behind that wheel, and maybe you need a couple heat cycles, and maybe your truck is better on a longer run, and that could be Foley, where it was just total junk at the start, but now it's coming to him. Maybe Thomas is fighting something, you know?
That's very true. I guess I didn't really look at it that way, yeah. Foley's setup could be good on the long run, where Keene's is good on the short run.
Either way, Foley is chopping into that time.
Oh, he
something
is.
Serious.
Yeah, he's got it down to 1.6 seconds now. And he's a full second ahead of Michael Gonzalez in 3rd.
Foley's that lumberjack, and he is chopping that tree down. Come here, Thomas. You know?
That's right. Here, kitty.
For sure.
Well, Mark Russell's kind of fallen off of the bumper of Roger Wagner by quite a little bit there. James Lehman coming back out on the track, and he's going to be about 12 laps down to the leader. But back out on the track, Randall Drake in 18th. Nathan Sedlick, I believe, has taken his car or truck behind the wall.
Yeah, I think after that hit, he just pulled it back there and said, "I'm done, boys. We'll try again next week."
Yeah, and I really didn't think he hit that hard. I mean, he hit it a pretty good lick, but it didn't appear to have a lot of damage, you know. Now, it could have been more internal than it was cosmetic. You know, we didn't see a lot of damage, but it could have been more internal. Could have affected the steering or something. But the one that's really kind of getting me is Galen Gidman back here in 15th. He is still struggling with such a, you know, and I'm sure he's probably running the RPM setup. I don't know, but I don't know that for sure. Eric Lambert in 14th, Charles Grant 13th, Tony DeGennaro 12th, Kevin Spalding in 11th, and Mike Mining 10th. And it looks like Scott Russell is he is challenging right now, Mike Mining for that 10th position. There's a good battle mounting up right there. Smallwood back 6.4 seconds in 8th. About a second ahead of him, Christopher Perryman in 7th. Dalton England now on the inside of Mark Russell. And I just don't think he's got the ponies under the hood there to get by Mark. I don't know. Mark's really strong. And it looks like he's going to wash up the hill and has to get out of the gas. And Mark had the preferred line coming out of turn 4. So Mark hangs on to 5th for right now.
And Roger has moved past Gonzalez for 3rd, and Foley is slowly still catching Thomas.
Yes, he is. He's down to 0.8 of a second now, so I would say Keen's tires are probably gone away on him. And Foley, they're probably about even out there right now, but with Keen's tires falling off so quick, I think he must have really been pushing the envelope there. He knew he had a good lead, but he was out in clean air, so he was just putting the hammer down.
I'm glad I'm not a bet man, because I totally would have said Foley was done for staying out.
Me too. Yep.
That shows how much I know, right?
Me too. I'm right with you on that one, John. And right now he's 0.6 of a second off. He was down to 0.5 a second there for a minute, but I think he must have got a little loose coming out of 4 and lost 0.1. It's so easy to lose 0.1 here. All it takes is just burping that gas just a hair and you can lose 0.1. Now he's back down to 0.5 a second. Let's ride along here with Foley for a quick minute.
Well, and Foley looks like he's doing a really good job keeping his momentum up through the center of the turn. That's where he's really killing Thomas.
Yep. And here he's riding along with Foley right now, and he's just like I said, 0.5 a second, now down to 0.4 as they come up on the back of, let's see, that's the number 30 of Matthew Breckel to put Matthew 1 lap down. And boy, look at the time now, 0.2 of a second. Foley's about to take this lead away from Keen, I believe. He is right there on the bumper. Inside of Keen, pushes Keen up the hill. And this is the pass for the lead. Foley's got the lead. Keen had to just back right out of the throttle there or get into the wall, one of the two, and he just he caved into him right there. And the whole time these guys were racing up here, Roger Wagner has caught up to them a little bit. He's reeled them in by about 0.5 a second just by them guys battling up there. Roger Wagner comes up on Matthew Breckel. Dives to the bottom. Matthew stays way up the hill and lets him go by. Matthew running back in 16th position. He's just out there just picking off one at a time. Well, thank you there, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood. Appreciate that.
Caution.
Oh, what do we got? Oh, Smallwood going around. No. Looks like he just got loose on his own, too.
I think he had a little help.
Oh, okay. It's like Scott Russell on his tail. Oh, right there. Yep, Scott Russell comes up the hill and into the side of Daniel. Yep, and boy, Daniel went for a heck of a ride. I was gonna say let's ride along here with Daniel for a quick minute and watch this. Watch this ride here that Daniel has to see out of his windshield. That's enough to make you dizzy. And he gets it back going. Tires. Go ahead.
The good news about that is if he doesn't have the engine damage, he'll be fine because it didn't hurt the nose.
Yeah.
But in the back end, the spoiler's straight. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, they look like they just kind of got into the side of each other, but yeah, good deal. Keen now in second, Roger Wagner third, and I believe these guys are all going to come down pit road. Now, question is, Foley going to take 4 tires? I think I would.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they're coming down. I believe they can make it the rest of the way on fuel, can't they? About 52 laps.
Oh yeah, you can make it the rest of the way.
So fuel's not an option now. It's just a matter of tires. So let's see what Foley does here. And And he stopped way back there. Doggone, I wanted to see what he does. Believe, yeah, that's going to be a 4-tire change for him for sure.
Now, the issue is Foley's not as fast on 4 tires.
Right. Now, looks like he does get off of pit road. Yeah, he's going to get off pit road first.
Yep.
Foley out first, Keene second. Roger Wagner third. Looks like they're almost going to come out the way they went in. I think Gonzalez beat Roger Wagner off pit road right there.
And Gonzalez has been fast on the short run.
Yeah, he has. And again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It looks like that crew there, Thomas Keene, Michael Gonzalez, those guys working together, had a great setup for the short run. Now, they may be able to get by Foley here at the start, but whether they can keep him at bay is another question, because it seems like he's better in the long run. Yeah, that was pretty wild there, Mr. Smallwood, that Daniel went for a heck of a ride there. That's enough to make you dizzy, ain't it? I put Smallwood, I'm trying to find him. He is going to be back in 16th place now. So, but he'll be all right. He's in a good, safe place. Last one on the lead lap.
He won't give up. He'll keep digging.
Oh, yeah.
Rudy, while we have a minute, I am going to step away and go refill my drink. I'll be right back.
All right, do that. I might see if I can get down here and talk to Dalton England for a second. Dalton England, this is Rudy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dalton, you're in 5th spot here for this restart. Boy, what do you got for them guys up there in the front that are so fast?
I really don't have anything for Johnny and Thomas. There's a top 5 car, though.
Well, it's been pretty good racing up here in the front. A lot of guys are really challenging each other. We've seen some 3 wide, some 2 wide, side by side. A little bit of rubbing here and there, but pretty good racing overall. Are you ready to get this thing over with and call it a day and ready to go on to next week?
Yeah.
All right, Dalton, well, you're doubling up here and getting ready to go back green, so good luck, brother, and we'll try to catch up with you later on.
Bye.
Not much of a chatter there, Dalton England. But that's all right. Concentration is everything for these guys, so. We'll see how this works out for Foley now, with him not being quite as good on fresh tires, and Thomas Keene really good on fresh tires. Let's see how this works for him. So Keene, I believe, probably got a good setup on the short run. He may be able to get a run here on Foley on this restart, and see how it goes here coming out of turn 2. Well, cautions do breed cautions, and we're ready to get back under green, but this is caution number 5. Foley in command of this restart. Pace car's in. Speeding up, hitting the throttle, and he catches Keene easily. Just when Keene thought he wasn't going to go, he took off. So good, smart move. Roger Wagner in 3rd, catches Gonzalez, and Gonzalez almost getting into the side of Roger Wagner right there. And now, now Christopher Perryman looking to the inside of Roger Wagner, and those two have a history. Oh, a little rubbing. And Roger gets a little loose. Oh, he saves it. But boy, that cost him a lot of positions. Dalton England gets by. Roger Wagner going backwards. Mark Russell getting by. Man, he's going to have to fall into the 8th position now. Man, oh man, that was pretty wicked. Keen now catching up to Foley. Let's see how he can handle this. I guess I got that volume up a little high, didn't I? Sorry, I had to turn it up so I could talk to the drivers and forgot to turn it back down. Dang, I couldn't even hardly hear you, John.
Oh, you're good.
And we have another caution.
Lambert.
Oh, Eric Lambert. Looks like Smallwood kind of helped him on around.
Yeah, he got a little loose and was just kind of like sitting sideways, and Smallwood, nowhere to go. Gave him a little boost.
Watching here now from Eric Lambert. Gets that arrow loose, I believe. That's what I call it. When somebody's on your tail like that, it just kind of makes you arrow loose. And Smallwood just helps them on around. Just a slight bump, and that's all it takes. That's how much on the edge these guys are running, folks. It just takes a tap and you go around. So, all right, Eric Lambert now back to 16th. Foley still out in the lead. And I don't think anybody's going to pit up in the front right now. Doesn't appear to be.
Yeah, you only got, a lap and a half hard on your tires.
Yeah. And we got 45 to go right now, so fuel is not an issue. It's just matter of managing your tires right now, keeping your tires in check, and make sure you keep them for that very end, because I know it's going to turn out to be a heck of a battle at the end of this, John.
Yeah, I think another 10, 15 laps. Caution comes out. I'm coming down pit, take 4 tires, put a little tape on it, and go hard.
Yep. Yeah. Now they've changed these the tape on these things where you can actually adjust the tape on them, which is kind of cool,
Yeah, it used to be in the old build where it was either race tape or Q tape. Now you can actually do it like 4%, like 41, 42, 43, and actually do small adjustments like the Cup cars.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, have you driven the new truck, Rudy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I like it. I feel, I don't know, I think it feels more comfortable, like you were talking. It feels more comfortable out there on the track. I don't know, it feels bigger. If that even makes sense. The old truck just kind of felt so tiny,
Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel that same way too. That it does actually feel like a real truck. It feels wider almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The old truck, it felt more narrow, and you're like, okay, let's go, have fun. And this, you're right. It does feel like it's wider.
And maybe that's maybe that's what's making it more stable on the track, being wider, a wider footprint, making it more stable on the track.
I do like the new bodies. They look good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Toyota come on board. It's too bad, I know a lot of guys would probably agree. Really wish Ford would have come on board, too, so that we could have the 3 options like they do in the Gen 6, and the B cars, we have the Ford and the Chevy. And just those, I don't know. I don't understand all that marketing thing, but it just doesn't make sense that they have a Ford in the Gen 6. They have a Ford B car, have other Fords in the road course cars and stuff, but we don't have a Ford truck.
Now the pace car's a Ford.
Yeah, it's something just ain't adding up there. I don't get it, but whatever.
I'm sure it won't be too long. We'll have the Ford truck here too. It's just, who knows? Could have been a graphic side of it, but it's all good.
Yeah, apparently, from what I'm understanding, there were some issues with the laser scan or something, and I think it was the model change, the year model change or something. And the laser scan they had, I guess it wasn't fitting up to what marketing wanted or something. I don't know if any of that's true, just what I hear,
I'll tell you what, there's probably me and 100 other people. I would love to see them go multi-groove, where we could run around the top of some of these tracks.
Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I'd be one of the first ones up there around that wall, just running as hard as I could.
Well, there's a few tracks. I think Kansas is one of them that is actually a progressive banking, and the top groove is the fast groove.
Right. But
So.
it needs to be more of you can run any group,
Right.
where you can run bottom, top, middle. Like Chicago would be sweet to run around. Michigan.
Well, I
It'll
guess
get there.
Yeah, I guess that would be the matter of maybe your setup preference or something. If you could set up your vehicle to handle the bottom, but you know as well as I do, John, that even if you could set up your truck to handle on the bottom, it's not going to handle down there very long, and you're going to wear the tires out.
Correct. And then you'll be searching around, which would be a lot of fun.
All right, we're ready to go back green. Pace car ready to duck onto pit road. It does. And waiting on Foley, and he doesn't waste any time. Hits the throttle. Green, green, green. Boy, he got a jump on Thomas Keene.
And he is still pulling.
Yeah. Michael Gonzalez and Dalton England going door to door back here. That finally gets over Roger Wagner and Mike Vining going door to door. Gonzalez pulls out, tries to get a run on Perryman, but Perryman pretty strong on the high side. And Gonzalez, oh, we got a 3 wide going down the front stretch. Look at this, Dalton England dropping to the bottom. Can he hold it? Perryman sees what's going to happen here. And, oh man, so does Gonzalez. These guys back right out. Ooh, that could have been bad coming out of turn 2. Roger Wagner now on the inside of Perryman. It looks like he's going to take that position away from Perryman as Perryman checked up. So Perryman goes back to 6th. He went from 3rd to 6th in 1 lap. Pretty wild. Dalton England on the outside. Michael Gonzalez on the inside. Boy, who's going to prevail out of that? Roger Wagner watching all this happen and not knowing which one he wants to go with.
Oh, they are so close.
Oh, man. England going to handle that one. Boy, he took over, and now it looks like Roger Wagner on the inside of Gonzalez. Gonzalez really had to check up coming out of turn 4.
That looked like Dalton England just saying, I'm going to take this spot, just drove it in there.
Absolutely. Keene now 0.2 of a second off of Foley, which we know Keene has a good short run setup. Foley with a long run setup, got a good jump, and boy, he is really loose right now. It's trying to stay ahead of Keene. And it looks like he smartened up on that one a little bit and handled turn 4 a whole lot better than he has in quite a while. Mark Russell back here in 7th as he got by Mike Vining. Scott Russell 9th and Tony DeGennaro into the top 10. Daniel Smallwood passed up quite a few cars to put himself into 11th place, and he is moving forward. Ben Manning back out on the track. Good to see Ben out there running 20th right now, but he can pick up a couple of positions if he stays with it. He can pass up James Lehman and Nathan Sedlick as they're out of the race right now. So we'll keep an eye on Ben. Randall Drake, one of the guys in the back here, he is 10 or 8 laps down, excuse me. Having some problems early in the race. Foley still trying to hold off the hard charge by Thomas Keene. And again, John, these guys have pulled away from 3rd place Roger Wagner by 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, that's just impressive. I am really, really impressed with Foley. Like, it's not the talent aspect. It's that he started dead last, or real close to dead last. It looked like he had a horrible setup underneath him, and here he is leading the race, just totally proving me wrong. I'm very impressed.
Well, he's probably made some adjustments on that truck, I'm sure. But yeah, he started 18th today, and here he is leading. And he hasn't led the most laps yet. Keene's led the most with 51. But if Foley can stay out ahead there, he could possibly lead the most laps of the race here tonight.
All I know is that Foley finishes top 3. I would love to hear how many adjustments he made and how he made that truck better.
Yeah.
Because that is impressive for sure. And he is pulling away a little bit from Thomas Keene.
Yeah, that's about 3/10 right now. Dalton England falls off the back bumper of Roger Wagner. Roger goes into third. Gonzalez back to fourth. And Mark Russell, continuing to pick one off at a time, goes into sixth.
Won't be long. He'll get Gonzalez for fifth.
Yep. Scott Russell in seventh, and Perryman eighth. Daniel Smallwood again picking off one at a time, goes into ninth. So he's coming forward. Looks like somebody on Randall Drake coming down pit road. I don't know what happened there, and he just hits the inside wall on pit road. I don't know what happened there.
He was several laps down, so whatever the reason is, he just doesn't want to be, caution or whatever. So
Yep.
could be a good move on his part.
Well, Ben Manning still out there in the 20th position, but he should be able to pick up some more spot. And now Foley has pulled away to 6/10 of a lead over Thomas Keene. Roger Wagner still sitting about 2.7 seconds behind him. Back about another second off of him is Dalton England. And Dalton's the one that we were talking about. Started 20th on the field today. He's got himself into fourth. We talked to him. He said he felt like he had a top 5 truck. Maybe not a winning truck, but a top 5 truck. And he's running fourth. So good call by him. Mark Russell looking to maybe get by Gonzalez here, maybe in a few more laps, and maybe take a top 5 here today. Winding it down, be 30 laps to go when they cross the line?
Looks like it's starting to get a little bit more spread out, so we'll see who's got the long run set in for sure.
Keene now 0.8 of a second off the bumper of Foley. And if he's not careful, he's going to fall into the clutches of Roger Wagner back in third. Roger's only a couple of seconds behind him.
Daniel Smallwood, unscheduled pit stop.
Yes, sir. Must not like something. He's going to come down pit road and fix it, whatever it is. But boy, that's going to be very costly for him. Dalton England fourth, Richard Gonzalez fifth, Mark Russell sixth, Christopher Perryman seventh, Scott Russell in eighth, Mike Vining ninth, and Kevin Spaulding into the top 10. And look at this, John. Galen Gidman has worked himself into the 11th place.
He has done some serious work on that truck to get it back to there, that's for sure.
Yes. And Eric Lambert, we've seen him in more wrecks tonight than anybody else, and here he is running in 12th. So he's doing a great job for all he's been through. Running 12.7 seconds behind the leader. Tony DeGennaro 13th. Matthew Breckel on the lead lap now in 14th. Has picked up a ton of positions here tonight. Charles Grant in 15th. These guys all starting to really turn the heat up. I know it's getting down to the end.
Well, right now, the only one that is running the same lap times as Foley is a third place driver, Roger Wagner.
Yeah.
They're both running 32.0s. Everybody else is on the 1s and 2s and beyond.
And they could possibly, I don't know for a fact, they could possibly be using the same setup. I don't know. I don't know if Foley come into the race tonight with a setup. He may have, I know he was in Roger's TeamSpeak over there, and they could possibly have shared the same setup. I don't know.
That would be affirmative, Rudy.
Ah, okay. There's Scott. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
What happened there, buddy? I seen you kind of float into the wall there on the inside pit wall.
My truck's engine shot. Blew
Oh,
up.
man.
That's from what I got in that earlier wreck when Galen hit the wall and hit into Pearson, and then Pearson kind of came right in front of me, and I just T-boned him. So fixed the 10 minutes of repairs and got out there and gave me about another 60 laps before it died.
Jeez, oh man. Well, let's see. I put you back in 17th, and I don't think there's any danger of you losing that position, but that's a heartbreaker, Randall. We hate to hear that, and you hate to hear any of the guys getting taken out like that. But man, Dalton England getting passed up by Michael Gonzalez now. So Dalton England may have used up his tires trying to keep up with them guys up front.
Tires are so light sensitive here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unfortunate. I've had some really bad luck of late, especially with regards to my, getting into it with my own team. It's obviously nobody's fault of their own, but just unfortunate.
Well, Roger Wagner is chopping that time down, and here we are, 23 laps to go. And he's chopping that time down. I don't know if there's enough time for him to get up there because he's really not gaining that much. He'd probably really welcome a caution right now, but I don't know. That's not what Foley wants to see, or Keene.
A tenth and a half with at least 23 laps to go. He could get there, but passing him's going to be something else.
Oh, yeah. Roger's closing up on Thomas Keene pretty quick here. He's only 0.6 of a second off of his bumper.
Well, and as Roger gets closer to Thomas, it's going to upset his truck a little bit, so he's going to fight that too.
Definitely.
Unless Thomas lets him go, knowing he's faster, which is always possible.
Rush don't. Rush don't run in this league.
Roger got extremely loose off 4.
Yeah, that cost him quite a bit of time too. Wow.
Plus you never know, Rudy. The Foley factor may kick in and beat himself up there.
Well,
I'm just kidding. Johnny's usually really good.
Yeah, he seemed to be at the beginning of the race. John and I were talking about. He just didn't seem like he had it all together. Maybe he didn't have a good setup, and he's been working on it continuously through the race and found something really good. I don't know. If he is running the same setup as Roger, you know how it can be, Randall. What's good for one is not good for another. Well, this is just what a few of these drivers wanted to see. But Daniel Smallwood going around right in front of traffic. Didn't hit anything though. Just that arrow loose coming off of turn 4 again.
Yeah, just stepped out.
Well, I was going to say to you, Rudy, Foley was doing his best impersonation of Brad Keselowski in the truck tonight. He was on the phone earlier in the race.
Really?
Yes, he was.
Oh, my word. Oh, man. That's why I see a lot of these guys, they're in the race and they're chatting on YouTube. I'm like, how do you do that? First off, you're not supposed to text and drive, and these guys are typing and they're chatting to me in chat, and I'm going, wow, man, I don't know how you do that. I got to stay focused on what I'm doing out there on the track. Some of these guys go out there and wheel it around there one-handed.
The kids today, Rudy, the kids today.
I'm telling you, multitasking.
Well, it looks like, unfortunately, Daniel Smallwood put it behind the wall and called it a night. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it really is.
Guess he figured he had enough TV time for tonight.
Well, it looks like he's going to finish probably about 16th.
I really like watching that kid race. He's very impressive.
Just wasn't his night tonight, I guess. Well, it looks like Foley going to bring everybody down pit road. So 4 tires and out of there, or is Foley going to try the 2-tire trick?
I would guess 4, but we'll see here.
Is Keene going to try the 2-tire trick? Who's going to try that? Foley doing a 4-tire. Oh, there's Mike Vining with a 2-tire.
And on the pit stop there, Roger came in a little hot on Keene's bumper there and got into the back of his truck. So I don't know if that's going to upset Keene's truck at all.
Oh, man.
Dalton England with a 2-tire?
Yep. I thought, yeah, that was my bad. I thought that was Mike Vining. It wasn't. It was Dalton England.
Things are going to heat up now, boys.
Yeah, well, let's see how this two-tire works now. It worked for Foley earlier. If you remember, John, we watched Foley do it.
The only thing I'd have to say with Dalton has been extremely loose. I've watched him several runs on the beginning, and he's been so loose. So just by going two tires, if he did not take fuel, he'll be fine. But if he took fuel on top of that, he's going to be wrecking loose.
Oh, boy. All right, Foley second, Roger Wagner third, Thomas Keene fourth, Michael Gonzalez fifth, Mark Russell sixth, Mike Vining seventh, Scott Russell eighth, Kevin Spaulding ninth, and Galen Gidman 10th. Galen's been really struggling tonight, but I think he's worked himself into position to maybe get up there. He might be looking at the top 5. I don't know. It's going to be a short run here.
Well, just some inside info on there. I think he might be down a few miles per hour from that earlier wreck.
Yeah.
He's fast enough to keep up, but I don't think he's fast enough to be a winning car unless if something major happens.
Right.
It's a privilege of being a teammate and being in the team speak and knowing what's going on. So inside scoop for you there, Rudy.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Well, let's see if I just don't know about this now. If Dalton can get a good start and stay ahead of Foley, he might be all right. Foley's not that good on 4 fresh tires. He needs about 3 or 4 laps to get a little heat build up in him, and then it seems like he starts kicking in. But he's got to set up for really good for the long run. So, this is going to be probably about a 16 lap shootout. Looks like.
John, that's usually because of low PSI, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Why it doesn't get going the first lap or two until the tires heat up.
Yes, 10-4. Well, it's more the heat in the tires. Like your heat's not built up yet, so you don't have the max grip.
Right. Okay.
You know what though? Like I was thinking, how we were talking about Foley in the beginning of the race and how just poorly it looked like he was driving and tied in and loose off and everything. It could have just been because he wasn't familiar with the set, just coming in here and stuff, and then now he's finally gotten comfortable with it, and now he's flying, which would make more sense than just making a bunch of adjustments.
Well, Scott was saying he was on the phone while he was driving.
At least early on he was. I don't know. Maybe with caution, I don't know, but I know he made a few adjustments to the set too. So, which the 31 is using, by the way.
Well, John,
It'll be interesting.
I'm going to give you the honors and get him going here, brother.
Oh, sounds like fun. What we're hoping here is Dalton England doesn't spin his tires and creates carnage. So.
Just realized something. There's no paint scheme on Foley's truck. If he wins tonight, I'm coming back with no paint scheme next week.
Pace car's off. Dalton England's holding him back, punches the gas, and gets a heck of a run. Good jump. Thomas Keene and Roger Wagner side by side for 3rd and 4th.
Foley hanging on right there in second. I don't know who's going to come out on top of this. Looks like Roger does. Boy, he drives it in there hard. Keene way up the hill, and Gonzalez looking.
Oh, wow.
Oh! He goes back real quick. Dalton England, and into the wall again. No caution, though. Holy smokes. That's a shame.
There was some door slamming action there, that's for sure.
Foley and Roger Wagner out front, and Keene back 9/10 of a second from the leader.
And the 2 and the 72, just because of the big, checkup and congestion got mixed up, and the 2 slammed the wall hard. Looks like he's out of it.
Mark Russell? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, he did, yes. It's a shame for him. But back up front, Foley and Roger Wagner battling this out.
And this will be Roger's best chance to get Foley. Be right on his tail, put the pressure on. He knows he's faster after a few laps. This is where it's going to happen.
Foley really loose. Chased it up the hill that time. I don't think he even let off the gas, so he just chased it with the wheel.
Caution's out.
Oh, this is going to change up everything now. I didn't see. Wow. Who was that? Dalton
Perryman.
went into that. Perryman. Let's go back and take a look.
Mike Vining, Perryman, Galen Gidman, all three of them. Oh, and Dalton England blows his motor, flies into that.
Perryman goes up the middle and hits Mike Vining in the door, then goes right into Galen Gidman. So he takes 2 trucks out right there, and man, coming right out of the turn.
Yeah, it looks like Vining got loose, slipped up big off too, and then Perryman and Galen were side by side, and Vining came back up the track, and away they went. Close racing, coming to the end, you know, getting closer and closer toward the end of the race.
And look at this from a different point of view. Yeah, oh yes, Vining did come up into Perryman and pushed Perryman up into Galen Gidman, and both of them go for a ride. Looks like Perryman's going to hit the inside wall pretty hard.
Yeah, but Perryman could have let off the gas there. That could have been an unavoidable caution if he let off and not try to force it.
Oh, and Dalton England gets into Perryman. Man. Well, looks like Perryman's smoking like a freight train now. Nobody up front is going to pit.
Thomas Keene pits.
Don't blame him.
Thomas Keene pits. I don't know why. Maybe to tape up.
Maybe. Never know.
And we do know that Thomas is faster on a short run, 10 laps. Tape it up.
3 into 31 might take a little time for their tires to come up. It might, you never know.
But he's got some guys to pass too on the restart.
This is true.
All right, Roger Wagner second, Michael Gonzalez third, Kevin Spaulding fourth, Scott Russell fifth, Eric Lambert sixth, Tony DeGennaro seventh, Charles Grant eighth, Thomas Keene going to be ninth after coming off pit road, and Matthew Breckel 10th. Look at that. That's crazy. I love it. Matt's such a good guy, man. I'll tell you, you get to know him, Scott. He's just a great guy.
Who's that, Matt? Who? Sorry, I missed it.
Matthew Breckel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You won't hear him ever get into it or argue or anything. He just he's just easy going, and
Yeah, I heard him on the track before.
he's a pretty good guy.
We like the non-drama guys here at the IWCR.
Well, you got a good one right there. He's a non-drama guy.
If Kevin Spaulding gets a good start, I like his chances. Michael Gonzalez has been fast all night on the short run, but I think it's going to be really hard to beat to the 3 and 31. They're out front, and they got it locked down, looks like.
Well, I wouldn't mind getting down there talking to somebody, but I really don't want to jinx them, for one. And I don't want to disrupt their concentration right now, because everybody is going to be in a zone looking for victory lane here, and everybody's chasing Roger Wagner and Johnny Reed Foley right now, and that's going to be a tough combination to beat right there.
It's funny how this race flip-flops. In the beginning it was Gonzalez, then it turned to Keene, and then it turned to Foley, and now possibly is Roger Wagner. Just on trucks to beat, throughout the race.
Oh, yeah. All right, taking a look here real quick. This was caution number 8. I'm sure probably a couple more cautions than what you really wanted, Scott, but it's been good racing.
Yeah, that's the thing about this series, being it is a feeder series. Everybody thinking that they got to win to impress us. But it's not the case.
Right.
It's good, clean driving, what we like here.
I'll tell you what, if I was on this restart, I would not mind being in Roger's position on the outside, because you can get a good start. You can sail it off into 1 and 2 and diamond that really hard, and come out and get a run on Foley and just sail it off into 3. And you know what? If you get underneath the guy, go for it, right?
Yeah, John, I actually agree with you. I actually like the outside on this restart.
not every track is beneficial, but this seems like one of them tracks where if you get a good start, you got to be, time it right. You can do the crossover 1 and 2 and really come out of there hard.
Well, let's see what they got for Foley up in the lead here. I'm sure he's going to do another one of them. You don't know when he's going to go. Tricks like he pulled earlier. So let's see how he does this with Roger Wagner right there. Pace car's in. And good start by the front guys. Looked like Roger read that one right off of the bat. They go 1-2 and get up into high gear, going into turn 1. Roger right there, 3/10 off the bumper, Foley. And Foley's got the hammer down. 9 laps to go, coming to 8 to go. And these guys already pulling away. Kevin Spaulding right there with these guys. He could slip in there and be on the podium easily.
Scott diving in harder into 3 and 4.
Scott Russell in 5th, Thomas Keene 6th, and those two almost get together. Eric Lambert in 7th, but he's getting passed up by Galen Gidman right now, and that opened the door for Tony DeGennaro, but Tony was a little squirrely coming out of the turn right there, and he's going to have to fall in behind Eric Lambert. Lambert looking back on the inside of Galen Gidman again.
I think you need to look at the leaders here. Really, they're fighting pretty hard.
Oh, but man, there's a good battle going on back here. Way better battle. There's no battle up there yet.
Well, Roger's right on Foley's bumper, so.
Okay.
He's only 0.18 off, and he actually gained 10th there.
Galen loses a couple of positions there. Eric Lambert and Tony DeGennaro get by him, so he falls back into the 9th place. Charles Grant in 10th. Roger 1/10 of a second off of Foley's bumper. This is mounting up to be a good battle right here.
Yeah, he's clipped his time off each lap, so see what's interesting here. Rudy, watch when he comes into 3 and 4. Watch how deep Roger drives it in. That's where he's getting his time on Foley.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Foley's starting to pick up on that a little bit too. And he's starting to dive it in there a little bit deeper now. I'm sure Foley's doing a lot of mirror driving right now. They're 1.2 seconds ahead of Michael Gonzalez. Boy, Roger can really drive it in deep, can he?
He's going to get the run right here out of turn 2.
Is he going to go down low? Oh, he's going for it.
Yes, he is. Going into turn 3, right where he wants to be. Going to have Foley pinned up to the high side. Can he clear him? Hasn't quite cleared him yet, but coming to the line, it looks like Roger's going to beat Foley to the line. Now, if he can use that high or that low line again going into 1, I think he's going to have Foley cleared. Boy, Foley is fighting back hard on that high side.
And Foley's a little better at it too than Roger is, but Roger's definitely better in 3 and 4. But I don't know how he's going to handle it, this being this lower and coming in this time.
Roger drives it in there pretty hard, wanting to clear him and wash up in front of Foley. It looks like he's got him, and he does clear him. And he had to check up Foley right there on his bumper, and Roger just blocking the crap out of him right now. 3 laps to go, folks. Roger Wagner in the lead. Gonzalez now 9/10 of a second as these two were battling. Gonzalez closed up on him quite a bit. Galen Gidman gets back by Tony DeGennaro, but DeGennaro not giving up without a fight. Looking to the inside of Galen. I don't know who's going to win that battle, but boy, I'm going to tell you, Roger Wagner has pulled away about 2/10 from Johnny Reed Foley, and that white flag, no, 2 laps to go. I thought the white flag would have been in the air. Sorry about that.
That was a good pass. That was a good setup and a good pass.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a nice, respectful pass. That was a really hard racing, but no funny business.
Patience. A lot of patience in that, too.
It's 2 drivers that know how to hold the line, that just don't dive bomb and drift up the track and wreck somebody out.
Well, Roger actually set that pass up the lap before because I saw them get out of 2 and get that run. And so he backed it up into 1 and got that run and put that tire right on that line.
All right, white flag's in the air. Foley closing up on the bumper of Roger, but boy, he's trying to steal some air off of him and hopefully maybe get Roger a little loose. 2 more turns to go. Right there on his bumper. Gonzalez in third.
Deep as hard as he can.
Yes, he is. And coming to the line.
He's going low.
Oh, Roger Wagner trying to beat him to the line, and he wins it here tonight at Kentucky. Congratulations, Roger. Holy smokes. What a piece of driving, huh?
That was a good finish. Thanks a lot, Rudy, for letting me be up here in the booth with you tonight.
Hey, no problem. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I had a good time.
Well, hopefully we're going to see Roger burn him down here. Let's see if he does burn the tires down. Do one of them, what's his name there, won the race last week. He burned him down so much he burnt the tire right off the back. In the NASCAR race? Who was
Denny
that?
Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin, that's it. Burnt the tire right off of it. Wow.
So iRacing definitely needs to fix that where there's no smoke on those
I know
burnouts.
it. I know it. The only one that can see it is the driver, from what I'm understanding.
Which makes no sense because if you can see the flames for when the backfire, why can't they do smoke?
I know it. They do need to fix that. Well, Roger burns them down, and we're going to get down here in just a second and talk with him. So give me a minute. Roger Wagner, you got a copy.
How you doing, Rudy?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, brother, but man, what a victory. Congratulations on your win here, beating Foley to the line. That was some awesome racing. We were just talking about it up here in the booth, and boy, I'll tell you what, a lot of respect went into that pass. You were very patient. Foley was patient with you. You got him trapped up on that high side and got underneath him. You were driving it into the turns harder than Foley was, and I think he was starting to pick up on that.
Well, I was noticing on the long runs that we were getting that I was clicking off just a little bit of time every time we had a long run. This truck was amazing. I want to give all of the RPM guys a huge thank you for all the testing and all the time that was put in today. We hit on something just right at the end of the practice session, and it really paid dividends for the whole race because all of us were really fast, and we helped Foley out a little bit, and he took the setup and made a couple of adjustments and gave them to us during the race, and it actually helped on that final run right there. But I could see on after that last restart that I could get in a little bit more, just barely rub the brake a little bit, get the nose to set, and I could immediately go back to the throttle. And the truck wasn't bouncing quite as hard, and it wasn't getting as loose. And so I just set that up and just kept working that 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. And I finally got the room where I could put my nose inside, and he gave me plenty of room. Kudos to him. Great run for him in his return back here in the Truck Series. But overall, man, fabulous night. That was a heck of a race, and it was a lot of fun to run.
Well, I noticed a little bit of jitteriness in your voice there, Roger. You got to be shaking on that one, man. I know I would have been. When you're racing against Foley, anything can happen. And, boy, I'll tell you, that was some of the cleanest racing that I've seen in a while.
Well, when I race him, I expect the same thing I expect out of the majority of these guys right here. A good, clean, hard, door-to-door, but he'll give you room. And that's exactly what he did. He knew I had the position, and he raced me, like a true gentleman. And that's all you can ask for. He worked his way from way behind me to get to the lead, and that's impressive enough. But to get around him there at the end, I'm really excited about that. And, man, I'm sitting here sweating like you would not believe, and making sure that I can keep that truck in and off of him and get that lead away from him. Yeah, I got a little on the nervous side, but it was fun. That's some of the best racing I've done in a long time. Everybody out here did a good job tonight. I mean, we had some cautions, but it's Kentucky. You're going to have that stuff. This was a great race.
I couldn't agree more, Roger. Great race, and congratulations on your victory tonight. And I know you want to give some shout-outs and thank yous, so knock yourself out, brother.
yeah, this whole team, Johnny Reed, Galen Gidman, Mike Vining, Jeff Porter, who for some reason isn't here tonight. I think he had a family issue. Nathan Sedlick, even Ben Manning's been working with the RPM guys. Eric Lambert, all of us over here. Scott Drake, everybody. Joe Roberts not here tonight, but still, this whole team, we've been putting in tons of time in both the Gen 6 and these trucks, and it's starting to show. We're actually getting good finishes. We're running great, and, I want to thank all of those guys. I want to thank the guys for running the league, and thank you for broadcasting. Great job. One of these days I'll get tired of being in this truck, and I'll get back in the boots with you, buddy.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, Roger. I miss you, brother. So, anyhow, congratulations, and thanks for chatting with us, Roger.
You bet, buddy, and congrats to all the top 3 Michael Gonzalez, too, because he ran a great race, too, man.
Yes, sir. Johnny Reed Foley, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Well, Johnny, we seen you come from the back of the field there at the beginning, and I'm getting reports, unconfirmed reports, that you were on the phone while you were racing. Is that true?
Well, under pace laps anyway. Yeah, I don't really keep the headset on the whole time when I'm racing. I can't stand too much talking.
Well, you're bringing home second tonight, Johnny. Man, I'll tell you what, it seemed like your truck was really hooked up on the long run. Some of them guys had really good short run setups and would catch you on the short run, but you were patient. That first pit stop, we watched you stop and only did a 2-tire change. We were kind of a little bit worried about that.
No, sir, that was a 4-tire change. We took 4 tires all night except for the one caution we stayed out. The crew was fast. We hit a 12.1 second pit stop.
Well, the very first one I showed, it was 8.6 seconds. But, hey, you know what you did. So, but anyhow, you stayed out there when all the other guys pitted at the one time and took the lead. I was a little bit worried about you then with all them guys pitting and taking 4 tires, and you stayed right with them. So you obviously had a good setup for the long run.
Well, Team RPM made a fantastic setup. I got to thank Roger Wagner and everybody on that team but Scott Drake, basically, for just a wonderful job that they did with the setup. And I appreciate it a lot. Had a lot of fun, and I just made my own changes to make it, go a little bit faster on the long run. They asked me if I wanted to run trucks with them tonight, and Roger said, he'd give me a set, so I figured I'd show up, and what the heck. I was glad to contribute something back to RPM because, it was nice to come up here and have a little fun.
Absolutely. All right, well, congratulations on second place, Johnny. Anybody else you want to shout out to or thank?
Oh, just, everybody at Team RPM, for letting me come race with them tonight. Just something fun to do, and enjoyed it here.
All right, Johnny, well, good job out there tonight, man. Way to put on a good show. I believe you did lead the most laps with 52, but just not the last one. So, but congratulations to you on second place.
Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate it a lot.
All right, we got Michael Gonzalez in the booth with us here. Michael, do you have a copy?
I got you, Rudy.
Well, you come in third tonight, Michael. Congratulations. Boy, I'll tell you what, it seemed like you guys were really hooked up tonight. You kept that truck up in the top 5 almost all night consistently.
Yeah, I was not even expecting this. I knew that we had a fast qualifying setup, but, I wasn't thinking that I'd be able to hang in there with everybody. I mean, it was a fun race. But I was working the wheel those last 20 laps. I was turning right to turn left. It was crazy.
Well, it's a good race when you got to do that, I got to say. Well, you started on the pole tonight, so congratulations to you for getting the pole. You come in third. All in all, I'd say a pretty good night, wouldn't you?
Yep, it was a pretty good night. Kind of glad I was able to get a top 5 out of it.
Well, you stayed out of the wrecks, and that's a big thing here. Now, I was talking earlier with John and Scott and stuff. Kentucky's really one of them tracks that is just, it's like driving on ice sometimes. But you guys really, you put on a good show out there with your setups and everything. And I didn't one time see you like sideways like I seen some of the other guys. So obviously you had a good set coming out of the turns.
Oh, I don't know what you were looking at, but I was sideways some of those turns, like coming off of turn 4. I think it was, I don't know, lap 100 maybe, a little bit earlier than that. Coming off of turn 4, racing with Dalton, England. The back end I was sideways, like at like 45-degree angle coming off that corner. It was crazy.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you had a good night. It's good to see you up there, in contention. Some of your teammates there, Thomas Keene and I think Daniel Smallwood, them guys are all in with your team, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel.
And Calvin Troy. Yeah, he didn't make it tonight.
Yeah, Daniel. I don't know. He just really had some issues tonight. I don't know whether he was trying to pinch the truck down a little bit, and he was getting loose a lot of times, and it seemed like it was arrow loose, where somebody would come up on the back of him and get him loose, and he did it a couple times to other people too. When he come up on the back of them, it would get them loose. So we know the trucks are on the edge all the time, and that's what makes it kind of interesting for these guys to drive, and especially on Kentucky. But you're bringing home third tonight. Congratulations, Michael. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody down at Checkers or Wreckers. I mean, make great setups. Thomas Keene, Daniel Smallwood, Calvin Troy. It's everybody down there. I mean, great group of guys. And like I said earlier, lots of setups. And I'd like to thank you for giving us outstanding broadcasts every single week.
Well, you're very welcome, Michael. And it's good to see you up there in the top 5. Great finish tonight, and congratulations, buddy. And thanks for chatting with us.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Rudy.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to run down through the results real quick here, and we'll get the heck out of here. Roger Wagner winning here tonight. We had 8 cautions, 10 different lead changes. Johnny Reed Foley coming in second. Great finish for him, finishing 66 1/1000ths of a second off the bumper of Roger Wagner. So great effort for Johnny to try to come back and capture the win from Roger, but just did not have enough horsepower to get there. Michael Gonzalez coming in third. Thomas Keene fourth, which was a good comeback for Thomas. Kevin Spaulding 5th, Scott Russell 6th, Eric Lambert 7th, Galen Gidman finishing in 8th. Man, what a comeback for Galen tonight. Tony DeGennaro in 9th, Charles Grant 10th. Matthew Breckel, good to see Matthew out there finishing 11th tonight on the lead lap. That's awesome. Mark Russell having some troubles there, finishing a couple laps down in 12th place. Christopher Perryman 13th. Mike Vining 14th, Dalton England 15th, Daniel Smallwood 16th, Randall Drake 17th, Ben Manning 18th, James Lehman 19th, and Nathan Sedlick 20th. John Berga finishing 21st, Stephen Pearson 22nd, and rounding out the field was Craig Hawkins in 23rd. So again, congratulations to our winner here tonight, Roger Wagner at Kentucky for IWCR, and thanks for tuning in, folks. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun chatting with you guys in chat, and I had a good time. And thank you, the viewers. I appreciate that very much. So we will see you, I believe, Monday. Yeah, we won't have a broadcast now till Monday night, which will be GAC, and that'll be about, I think I go live about 7:45 p.m. Eastern, somewhere along in there, I believe. Let's see, 8. Somewhere along in there, about 7:45 or 8 o'clock Eastern. You can tune in here on YouTube and watch GAC. So, all right, thanks for watching, folks, and until then, have a happy Easter tomorrow, and stay safe, folks. I don't want to see any of my viewers get hurt over the holiday weekend. Have a good one.